Alright, are we going to see another Perdalis try and come slay Napoleon? Doesn't seem to be working for them so far. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, set number 4 of Team China versus Team SJ. Forgot what it stands for already, but whatever. We are going to be on Neo Electric Circuit, and here we go. Alright, spawning at the bottom left as the green Zerg, we do have Kai. CN. Oh, so that means we might have a TVZ. Are we gonna? Yes, we are! Napoleon will be the blue Terran at the bottom right. Alright, Team China has had enough of sending out Perdalis. They have sent out a Zerg player to take down Napoleon. And thankfully, being a race picker, Napoleon is not going to force us to watch a ZVZ, so good job, Napoleon. Anyway, let me do the overlay first. Z75. Alright. Now Napoleon's TVZ, by the way, is actually amazingly good. Like I didn't really know how good his ZVP was. I mean, obviously 3-0ing China's team so far is pretty damn good, but I know for a fact that his TVZ is amazing. I think because I casted once, I think he played a best of 3 against Zeke and 2-1'd him or something. In some random tournament, I can't remember. Played like an amazing long game on alternative. That one I remember. So Napoleon definitely got some sick TVZ. Actually, wait, it might have been against Michael. Might not have been against Zeke. It was against somebody really, really good. Anyway, looks like everything's standard so far. Barracks in the main base. And looks like it's going to be a 12-hatch from Mr. Kai, I'll call him. It's always awkward for me. It's actually really awkward for me to like see the Chinese names like this, because I do speak Chinese. So I'm like, do I say it like a Chinese person? But even if I wanted to, there's no accents on the name, so I can't. Oops. So I don't actually know like which pronunciation of the word it is, because you can't just read it from the romanization very easily. So I wouldn't actually know how to pronounce the name. But anyway, there it is. It's always weird for me. See, that's why I like guys like Heroes and WK. There's no ambiguity. Let's just be stereotypical, call him Chinaman. Anyway, oh, what is this? We have a gas already. Lair's probably gonna go up right now. Lair, go! Lair! Wait, where is it? Ah, there it is. Ha! Alright, so it's gonna be a 2-hatch build here from the Chinaman. Is that offensive, by the way, if I just say the Chinaman? I don't think it is. It could be. Actually, you know what? We need more offensiveness on the stream. Where's Game? I'll get him on. I'll get Game on the Skype with me, then I can be like slightly offensive and it won't matter because he'll be like way more offensive. So in comparison, I'll look completely fine. I think that'll be a good plan. Anyway, we have an academy already off just one barracks here. I'm not really sure what Napoleon's doing. I do seem to remember he does kind of a peculiar style though. Although in the games that I remember him seeing of his that were amazing, he did mech play. Although that might have just been due to the maps. Like alternative lends itself pretty well to mech. But yeah, this is a really fast academy. Usually like 2-racks acad is pretty standard. Does he just have a second academy that I'm not seeing? Is it just like cloaked? Is there a cloaked academy somewhere? Anyway, bunker going up at the front. And we actually have a good number of links coming out. Speed should be finished soon, I hope. Yep, There it is. Oh, look at that. Perfect timing by me. And this is actually a very common move for a Zerg going 2H Muta in DBT is to make a bunch of speedings right before your Mutas are coming out, and you run in and you try and snipe as many Marines as possible. And sometimes if you kill enough Marines, the Terran will actually even make fire bats just like out of panic. But oh man, is this going to work? The bunker's actually empty. I think that's on purpose. Should probably put one Marine in it so it at least aggroes some of the Lings. Because if you don't have any Marines in it, it won't actually aggro anything. So it's kind of like a depot there, just going to block stuff. I guess you can run into it in an emergency. But that's actually quite a nice move because it allows him to wall himself off. So if all his Marines were in the bunker, Lings could have actually just run past into the main. But yeah, as I was saying before, the Zerg wants to pick off as many Marines as possible, and because obviously then that makes the Mutas even more effective, and sometimes you can even induce the Terran into making fire bats instead of more Marines because he doesn't want to die to the Lings. And then your 2H Muta gets there and there's like 4 fire bats and 1 Marine and 2 medics, and you're like, lol, free win for me. Like, don't even need to micro anymore, you just A-move the Marines. In the meantime though, you have an engineering bay in good time. Comsat's going up as well, but the second, look at this, the second barracks not even done yet. And where's the Spire? The Spire's finished, alright. Looks like +1 carapace on the way, so the Chinese Zerg is definitely going for some hardcore mutas here. Might just be a 2-hatch muta all in fact. And I'm not sure how effective this is going to be. Looks like a couple of turrets going up at the natural. No turrets up at the main first, just now starting them, and that's interesting actually, by the way. I actually do like that. I mean, you know, obviously, you don't have enough money to start. Whoa. Did he scan that? Ooh! Does he have a scan? Just use a scan and kill it! Ah. Anyway, oh, he scanned something there. What did he scan? I don't know. You should know the mutas are coming now. But yeah, obviously because the natural is close to the Zerg base, the mutas will get here first. So might as well build the turrets at the natural first, and then build the ones in the main later. Because it'll take the mutas a little bit longer to get there. But the mutas are now arrived, and looks like the barracks are actually positioned such that he can build turrets to cover both the top of the mineral line and the barracks as well. I'm not sure if that was intentional, but that's actually quite good placement. Presumably it was. And looks like one random Marine guy is going to get picked off, but there's quite a few units here, so it's looking very, very difficult for Kai to actually do anything here. Meanwhile, what's he doing? Looks like a drone at the top left, going to take a third base. So he's not going to go completely all in with this, but you know, having gone for that very fast +1 carapace, I mean, look at how few drones he has. Barely 1 per patch in the main, not even 1 per patch at the natural. He's got very, very low eco, so he definitely needs to do some damage. I mean, normally when you go 2-hatch, you are low eco anyway. And Napoleon looks like he knows exactly what to do against this, just building plenty of turrets. He knows that he just needs to defend, not take too much damage, and he will be in good shape here against the Zerg. Looks like Kai trying to do a bit of micro here over the cliff. Doing a bit of a dance there to try and bunch up his mutas a little bit tighter. That's not a ceremony or anything. That's actually just to make sure the mutas... Well, I think that's what he's doing. He's wiggling a lot though. Look at these mutas! What is going on with these guys anyway? They're wiggling and jiggling. Oh, there's a scan! Oh, run away! But yeah, usually you just shake the mutas like that to kind of make them bunch up a little bit tighter. And that's all well and good. Grabs another Marine. How are the upgrades doing? Looks like +1 almost finished for the Marines. When that finishes, that'll be quite brutal, although the +1 carapace should be done fairly quickly as well. Yeah, so actually those upgrades are going to cancel each other out. And Napoleon might actually be quite surprised by how fast that +1 carapace is, but whoa, the Muta's getting a little bit too close there. One random turret at the bottom of the natural actually even helping out there. Just flying into the arc of fire. Meanwhile, looks like a starport is underway. Obviously, as soon as a science vessel gets out, that'll be basically the end of the Muta harass. Looks like a scan in the main base just to see what Zerg is up to. He does see the Hydra and Lurker aspect is halfway done. Looks like the third at the top left is finished as well. Of course, taking that faraway main base. Even though on this map there's no ramp to guard the main base, just taking a very faraway base when you're going for an aggressive style like this is a good idea. Obviously, you're pressuring the Terran, keeping it back in his base. Even if you get pushed back by the Terran, it's going to be a very long walk for him to go cross map to attack that base. So you have a lot of time to backstab or just build more units and defend or whatever you want to do. It looks like Napoleon getting a little bit antsy here, trying to engage these mutas from below the cliff. This is really not what you want to do. That's exactly what Kai wants, is for the Marines to run up to the edge of the cliff here so he can just pick them off for free on the edge. But whoa! Bit of lackluster micro here. I wonder if there might be some lag issues. Of course, there has been talk all season of the Chinese players having a bit of lag with everyone. Of course, it's not really their fault. It's just they're from a faraway land. So yeah, this might be on high latency or something. I'm not really sure. Which would really not help going 2H Muta. I mean, the thing is though, if you're going to be playing on high latency, you probably shouldn't go 2H Muta anyway, because you're like, well, you know, if I'm not gonna be able to micro my mutas, probably should not pick a strategy that revolves around being able to do a lot of damage with mutas. Anyway, Queen's Test is finished though. That's quite quick. I don't think he can really afford to get too much off of that. I'm actually curious to see what he's gonna do here. Just now starting his hive. And I mean, he's got a couple of lurkers. Well, it's actually got 5 lurkers just chilling by his own back power generators there. The Muta's still able to do damage here, it looks like. These Muta's actually doing a very, very good job. +1 Carapace is definitely helping there, mitigating the +1 attack of the Marines. Both have now finished, of course. But they are slowly but surely getting pushed back here, giving Napoleon some room to breathe. And actually, Napoleon taking the mineral only here. He doesn't have any Marines back here, so if Kai knew about this, he could just easily send the Mutas back here and pick off that SCV. But I don't think he'd expect this at all. Considering how aggressive he's being this game, for the Terran to just take his third like that is a pretty bold move. Looks like second engineering bay going up as well. Since of course his facility is finished, he wants to get that the +2 attack and armor ASAPly for science vessel on the way as well. I don't see a radiate though. Is it finished already? It shouldn't be finished already. Maybe it is actually. I'm not sure. Hive though is almost done. And looks like Kai also taking his back mineral only. So actually Kai's not in terrible shape here. I thought he would be in a tough spot considering his mutas were kind of facing really stiff opposition from the Terran, but actually he's not in terrible shape. And look at this, all these random turrets have actually forced a really funny building configuration here from Napoleon. Really not on top of his SimCity there. And probably of all races, Terran needs to be most on top of the SimCity, just because like their buildings are so fat. Like depots by themselves just take up so much room. But looks like, oh, the Mutas do get here in time and barely stop the command center from finishing. That's actually so annoying for Napoleon, especially if he has to cancel that when it was like 95% done. Oh man, I think he might actually force a cancel. If there's no units coming back here, he's definitely going to force a cancel. Where are the Marines going? The Marines might go across the map here, but there's so many lurkers out. There's just a single siege tank. Not quite enough here. Okay, looks like a second siege tank is going to join the fray. Going to try and push back these lurkers. They're going to buy a lot of time. Looks like the command center does go down. It's probably cancelled there. I assume that was cancelled. Meanwhile, though, Kai is going to have to pull back with these lurkers. Looks like, oh man, he's not paying attention. He's not paying attention to the lurkers. Okay, there we go. He's pulling back the lurkers now. Looks like getting a greater spire as well as the defiler mount. He's got no sunkens at the front. He's got a couple of lurkers morphing. He's not going to have defilers in time. This is going to be an insanely hard army to stop. And looks like he loses a couple of units on the retreat here. I don't know how he's going to hold off this army here. It's a ridiculously big army. Looks like he's going to try and engage here in a decent angle, but no, I can understand his idea. Some people might be wondering why he borrowed the early there and not pulled back all the way. It's because he was pulling the Terran army back, so the Terran army was approaching him in a line. So he thought if he could borrow the 3 lurkers here, he could skewer all the Marines that were coming in to attack him. But it didn't quite work out there. He didn't quite get it off in time. And now he's facing a giant army on his doorstep. And Napoleon is looking in prime position for the Alki here. Consume is not even halfway done here. Are there any defilers on the way? Even if there are, they won't have storm in time. And Napoleon is going to go in here. Kai going in for a Mutabomb perhaps, but there's just way too many Marines underneath. And Napoleon, I think, has got this game. The Scourge's going to come in here, not even going to get the science vessel. Looks like some Guardians are being made, but that's going to be way too late here. The Marines just going to walk into the main and just murder everything before that's going to finish. So Napoleon, damn, what a go-to. He's actually going to kill this. Oh, well, Consume might finish, but it doesn't really matter, as I said. A few random units here at the top left aren't going to do anything. Kai is going to lose all this tech. And, well, that's going to be that. It's like running all his drones back to his mineral only. He's got a few haphazard units all over the place. Looks like just going to irradiate everything here. Eraser as well as a proper irradiate on those units. Napoleon has done it, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be an all-kill by SJ Napoleon. So sick. And look at this, just flooding out more units. Oh, he's even getting cloak wraiths. Lol. Just to counter the Guardians. But it doesn't matter at this point. Everything is dead. So Kai is not going to leave yet. I guess he doesn't want to be the guy who loses the last game, lets his team get all killed. It's not really fair, right? Because it's like, you know, he was only 1/4 responsible for his team getting all killed, but always feels worst for the last guy. And there's the GG. Napoleon with the 4-0, ladies and gentlemen. SJ all kills Team China. and takes the win in dominating fashion. Man, I was reading in the threads and stuff and the predictions by Draw. Draw, I think, you know, most people were saying it'd be very, very close, and I think a lot of players or a lot of people are actually favoring Team China to take this. But Napoleon not even giving his teammates a chance to enjoy the glory. He is going to take the whole thing. And that means we're going to go straight to the second series between LRM and Reps. Now it looks like that clan war is still being played, so I'm going to get the games one by one. And according to our lovely referee, that game between Napoleon and Kai was actually lagging, as I suspected, which probably didn't help with the Mutamicro. So that's why his Mutamicro seemed pretty dubious there. So it's a bit unfortunate for him.